Conquering Mount Scrap with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and we're here with the last episode of Happy Scrappy Overflow the Borders. Now, this is an optional step, but I really do believe it creates a lovely framing of a quilt, that we have a lovely piece border on the edge. And my husband and I, we are not little people. We want bigger quilts, so this already has a nice drape off the side built into the quilt. But anyways, this one for you, if you feel your quilt is too large, ignore this. Just move on to the next step. It's all good. But yes, this is what we're going to be working today. And this is the final step, by the way. So there's going to be a picture in the community posts where I show you the completed quilt top. So yes, I'm very excited to this. But before we get started on all of this, let's get to our shout outs. Quilting Nerd is one of the shout outs, and Leah at Twin Rock Quilting. Both of those YouTube channels are going to be in our show notes below. So much fun. Those people are having a great time with their channels, and they've come up with some very lovely ideas. So you gotta go check them out. Go check them out for sure. Now, before we get too far along, the next quilt sew along for this is going to be the disappearing pinwheel. Now, you guys have seen that purple and white quilt behind me. Everybody comments on that purple and white quilt, and I thought, okay, this is the one we're going to show. There's not going to be any foundation paper piecing. We can pull from our scraps, our fat quarters, our yardage, and we're just going to have some fun playing with, you know, disappearing pinwheels. Now, I do them different than anybody else, so you might want to watch the videos. So it's not the typical disappearing pinwheel, and I call it a weekender quilt, but we're going to break it up into a few different chapters so it's easier for you guys to manage. And let's see, we have Zoom sew dates the first Saturday of every month from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, because I'm in Alberta, Canada. Please make comments, share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss content, and hype. Hype is really important. It helps drive our analytics so that we can continue bringing you guys fun-free patterns. But it also reaches out to other quilters. Now, you only get so many hypes a week, and you can only do it on your cell phone. So after that, that's all I know. I'm not a big techie person here. Also, we have a Facebook group. It's warm and welcoming. We have a virtual sewing room hosted by Discord. We have all sorts of fun community chats, and we do fabric exchanges by country to keep postal costs down. And the admins say, please answer the question and agree to the rules, otherwise I can't let you in. We're trying to keep that room very much quilters only. Everybody's having fun. It's all good. I speak for free to quilting guilds and quilting groups. You can reach me under the About tab, which has my email address, or you can message me through the Facebook group. I'm a little faster at Facebook than I am at email. Sorry to say, but anyways. Also, I love you getting your shout-outs. Your shout-outs, we have so much fun going and discovering, and you guys seem to find more of them than I do. So if you see a channel, a quilting channel, that's working hard, having fun, has a fun voice, let me know, and I'll be happy to add them to my shout-out list. I've discovered so many new channels that way myself, and it's always fun to share that with you guys. Also, I'm involved in 2 collaborations this spring, summer, and fall. The first one is Quilter's Challenge, and that's Kelly from Silly Moon Sewing, Kelly from Kelly's Quilts Plus, Sam Elberts, Michelle from Bits and Pieces, Deb from Sewing with Debbie, and Future Cat from New Zealand. We are just having a blast. What we do with the Quilter's Challenge, we come up with a theme, we challenge each other, and we challenge our viewers. And wow, have we seen some amazing things from people. It's been a lot of fun, and I've enjoyed this, participating with this very much. I've got a couple more of those episodes to film now, and I just like, ooh, I love this. I love it. I wish this would keep going on forever and ever, but I think everybody's pretty tired, so we did have fun. The other one is been put together by Donna from Handmade by Ying with Donna. Now, she's assembled a bunch of YouTubers to teach back to basic quilting skills. And wow, there are some great videos coming out of there. You gotta go watch them, especially if you're a beginner or you've been around the block for a while but picked up bad habits. It's really good to go back to the very basics. And those are very talented teachers. So subscribe to them all. All of the links from both collaborations are in my show notes. So you just go if you're not subscribed, hit them and subscribe. I think that's it. Yes, that's it. Oh, So Yeah is hosting their charity drive for homeless in Alaska. It ends August 15th. You're going to find their YouTube link and their .com in the show notes below as well, so you can go to them and ask more questions. So I think that's it. Yes, come on into the sewing of the optional border. Okay, so we have our 4 border pieces, and what we're going to do is we're going to make all the points go the same way, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take, we've got a cat. Look at this cat. Isn't this cat cute? Oops, cat. We got a cat sitting there. I hope you guys can see the cat. Anyway, so we've got a cat, and we're going to make all the points go the same direction on all of these, because that's kind of important. And we're just going to stitch all of these together, just like so. Oh, we got some paper still left. Okay. Just pull that off. I'm going to take 4 of these for now. And I made too many of these pieces, but that's okay. They can go into something else. You know, they can go into a fun block or whatever. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, there we go. There. And it's so nice with that stay stitching. Now, somebody did mention that I could use starch. And I have done that in the past. But if you're handling them, you only get a couple of handles on them, you know, like where you're handling them and sewing them and all this stuff, before that starch breaks down. And I don't care how gentle you are, you know, at some point you're going to have a little bit of a distortion. Well, when you do that victory lap or the stay stitching, you don't. You have no distortion. There's nowhere for those pieces to run. Now I'm just going to take this and this. Just lay them out just like so. So I've got the small thin point there. All of these border pieces just fit so nice together. And when you do a piece border like this, where you have seams that you got to match up, they just work perfectly. Everything just comes together so nicely, and it's just wonderful. Okay, there we go. And okay, nice. Now, what you're going to do, oops, is you're going to take this with this off, that little bit off. And you're going to go through this just like so. Now I've already sewed on the 3 borders, right? So you have your borders pointing all the same direction. I decided to point with all the points this way. So now I have, it's just a matter of joining this one long piece. All right? I have one long piece. And then on the side that doesn't have the pointy bit, like you don't want to put 2 pointy bits together. You want to go this pointy bit, right, like this. And we're going to make them go, we're just going to flip this around, just like so. There. So now I've got this. So you would do this, make this configuration for 2 sides, right? So, and this you would sew them on. Now I've already sewed on a bunch of stuff here already, but I mean, that's something to keep in mind. I've already done like 99% of the sewing. So you would have this smaller, thin, narrow, tall, narrow piece, and you would sew it on the 2 opposite sides. Right now, when you're doing the other side, like the top and the bottom, this is where these pieces come into play. So what you're going to do with this is you're going to take this and you're just going you make 2 of them like this. Okay, so this is what I'm going to make now, because I've sewn on my 3 sides already. And I've only got the top to do. Okay. Now this goes like that. I know it looks funny because it's upside down, because this is one long string, right? I know. You're sitting there, wait a minute. Yes, it's one long string. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. So here it is, all one long piece. Yes, I have extras. They're fine. I'll put them in another block. It'll be cool. It'll be cool. So now what we're going to do is just going to cut that off. And now we're going to put that all to the side. So you've got 4 long narrow pieces, you know, 5 of these and 2 of these, right? Because that's your top and your bottom. So what we're going to do is we're going to find the top and bottom of this. Oops, let's see. There we go. So there's the side. So what I'm going to do is I want, let's see, where am I here? Okay, so I want all the points to go in, right? Just like that. So this is your corner area, your cornerstone area. So that's going to look really cute. And what I'm going to do is line up that edge and put this on. Now I found this worked better for lining up if it all went this way. Now, okay, one of the things, and if you've joined me another so long, I'm going to tell you right now, I make my quilts a little bit on the big side for a reason. My husband and I are not little people. And every night we have the grand tug of war for blankie supremacy. And I prefer a quilt. I just think it looks better if it has a bit of a drape and a border. You know, that's what I would have on my bed. So I think this would be a good idea for your bed as well. Now, I'm just laying this border here on top. I'm not getting crazy, I'm not pinning, I'm not anything. And you're sitting there, wait a minute, it's going to ruffle. No, it's not, because these pieces here measure 18.5 unfinished. And everything's going to fit together, and we're going to have nesting, and it's going to be wonderful. And you're going to sit there. This is probably the easiest border you've done in your life. Okay, here we go. Just get that over here like so. Except there's a lot of it. Okay, so we're just going to line up this with where we have to nest. Okay, and make sure that they just lie together so nice. There's no fullness, there's nothing. So we're going to make sure that that short, narrow, pointed one is matching up and nesting here with this little square and a square and a square, right? So here we go, nesting it. Nesting comes lovely. Nest again. Nest again. Here we go. Make sure that point is going to match. There we go. Now you can pin this if you want, right? I mean, some people when they do borders, they have to pin. Okay, you know, that works, you know. If that's where you feel you're comfortable, do what you can do, right? I mean, you know, like if you take a little bit of risk, sometimes you learn something a little different, and sometimes you have to use your stitch ripper, but that's okay. So anyway, oh, another person asked if I ever provide measurements for my quilts. No, I don't, because sometimes people make changes to my quilts, and I encourage that actually. That I would like you guys to, you know, my idea is all it's going to do is spark your creativity. And if you decide to go off in a different direction, or, you know, I want to do this instead, go for it. You know, but remember, I make them big. And some people went, oh, I don't like this border. I don't like a piece border. Then don't make one. You know, it's very simple to do. Just don't make it. Make something you like. Make something, you know, that you're going to be happy with or that you're going to be proud of. And because I do this kind of craziness doesn't mean everybody should. Okay, just a sec here. Where are we at now? Okay, let's get some more of this. Get a little bit more leeway here. I know. This is a big quilt. It's going to be beautiful, but it is a big quilt. Okay. There we go. And I like how that red on this border, I like how the red kind of frames everything. It just worked out so lovely. Okay, there we go. There. Oh, the next one is going to be that disappearing pinwheel, the way I do it for the so long. And I'm kind of excited. I just like, oh my goodness. I decided to work in warm greens instead of purples. You can work with whatever colors palette you want. Or if you can go all scrappy if you want to. I mean, yeah, I'm just excited to see what everybody's going to do with that, because that is such a lovely, lovely quilt design. And it's different. It works only really well in even numbers. So you have to have even numbers going across and down, but it does look great. Look great. It always looks great when it's finished. Now I've done that quilt a few times. The one time I did it in yellow and I thought, oh, this will be too much yellow. And the woman who I gave it to, because she was going through chemo treatments, she just loved it. Oh my goodness. She thought it was the best quilt she'd ever received in her entire life. And she used it to keep herself warm while she was getting chemo, and she did well with her chemo, and she was very happy sitting under that great yellow quilt. I was like, wow. Okay, so we're coming up to the end. So we have a couple of nesting bits to do. Okay. So I'm going to nest right here. This is, now, when you're doing a piece border like this, where you have parts where you have to nest, this actually makes putting on a border easier. Because any stretch, I guess, that's not the right word I'm looking for. Easing, I guess, is the best word. Any easing you're going to be doing is going to be throughout the quilt. And if you've done your piecing correctly and your pieces are measuring the right width and length, you shouldn't have a problem. Okay, let's get this baby here. Okay, there we go. Nice. And we are done. Let's get to our ta-da moment, and we'll have a little fun with this. Okay, this is Happy Scrappy Overflow, and you can see now we've added on the border all the points. They point into the quilt, including the cornerstone. Now, we do end up with some secondary patterns going on here, you know, and here as well. So it's kind of an interesting little place for your eye to wander. Now, the red worked out perfectly, even though I was kind of worried about running out of strings and all the rest of the stuff. The red works out perfectly to kind of make this fake border come to life, right? So it's a really interesting twist how that turned out so great. So I do hope you guys give this one a try. Now, if your quilt, by the time you get to the sashing and cornerstones, is large enough for you, don't do the outer border, right? I mean, the outer border is for us to have a blanket or quilt with nice drape on the bed, right? So that's how I make my quilts. I want a nice drape down. So yes, but this one was so much fun to make, and we do have some interesting cornerstones, and we do have what was it there? The little green guy from Star Wars, Yoda, and you know, Chewbacca, and I forget the gold guy here is on here somewhere. 3CPO and yeah, I can't remember. Anyways, this one was a lot of fun. We had some Star Wars fabrics in our scraps and our crumbs, so we decided use them. Use them. You might as well have fun with it. Yes, this is a quilt for an adult, but it's okay. An adult can have fun too. So I do hope you guys give this a try, and your 1/4 inch is going absolutely fabulous for you, and you win bobbin chicken at least once this week, because it takes me a long time to win bobbin chicken. Okay, you guys take care and stay well. Bye! My husband and I would like to thank you for all of your support and watching our videos and sharing and liking. It has just been, you've put us on such an amazing journey, and we are having so much fun. I hope everything is going so well in your life, and you know, your 1/4 inch is perfect. Everything is working out for you. And we're just so happy to be part of your life, and you having, like I say, you're watching us. I was just so thrilled that you're doing that. So I want to say goodbye, and I want to thank you with all my heart. Okay? Take care. Bye.